They're supposed to do the countdown. They don't know what happened.
And let's go.
All right, it happens, man. Yeah, I hit the countdown, and it's like it never, like it was highlighted and never went.
It actually started.
Did it start? I don't know what
Yeah.
happened. Maybe I double clicked it by accident. But screw it, we're going.
Yep. Say welcome anyway.
Yeah. One second. Let me share this real quick. And since I'm doing this, I am sharing it to our Facebook, Spoiler Kings Facebook group. So if you're not part of that and you're watching right now, go check us out over there. Like today, there was a bunch of different news for movies and TV shows and stuff. So I try to share everything I can over there.
It's a lot of information, especially if you love DC or Marvel or any of these things. I mean, Doom is they're doing all their stuff. It's just a lot of stuff going on. It's like I don't know. I feel like you get IMDb information as it's happening. We get little updates. It's like, all right, here we go. This is happening.
Yeah. I mean, today was like crazy. I know like we're gonna get into it a little bit, but like DC released a bunch of info. Some good, some bad. What else? Yeah, there's a bunch. I mean, right now everybody's talking about Batman. Like, so there's a bazillion different things about Batman and stuff like that. So there's a bunch of cool stuff, a bunch of live action movies and stuff. Oh, and there's that new Star Trek trailer. They released the Strange New Worlds, the prequel, I think. Yep. So, I know you're a big Star Trek fan.
I love them all. I love all Star Trek. I watched Picard. I'm waiting for tomorrow for Picard episode 2. Might do a video on that because it's already good.
Yeah,
do a little quick recap of season 1 and how we get to season 2. It's awesome.
Yeah, that's the way to do it. Yeah, there's a bunch of other like little news that the Pinocchio, Tom Hanks is Geppetto. I didn't know that was coming. I mean, it makes sense. He's always the old guy, so I'm like, yeah, okay, But that looked pretty good.
So long that he went from the young guy to now the old guy in the movies. Like we went from big to now him being Geppetto. It's like, come on, man. What?
That's right. Oh my God, we're going through all of Tom Hanks's career. Well, yeah, a couple other ones. I don't know. We could react to the Nick Cage movie. There's that new The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent, which is just we could we should probably react to that. We should do a react to that one.
Let's do that.
Yeah,
I love that so much.
Yeah, we'll definitely do a react with that one. But yeah, there's just today was so much news. I don't know if it's just because it's Wednesdays are like that or what, but that's just kind of like how it is sometimes. And one of my favorite memes that I've seen so far was this. And I even put it on here, it was like who wore it better. So obviously Trailer Park Boys and the Riddler from the Batman. So that's for me, that's super funny.
That's great. And then what Florence Pugh is going to be in Doom 2 now.
Yeah.
That's the Emperor's daughter. So I thought that's going to be interesting. That's going to be another dynamic that is going to be very cool. If you like Doom, you're going to like the second half. I just wish Doom was a full movie instead of give us only half the story, not let us know it's only half the story. Because I think if Doom had a full story, it would have won an Oscar.
I mean, it's up for some Oscars. It's not up for Best Picture. Well, it is up for Best Picture. I take that back. It is up for Best Picture. But it's a lot of story though. It's a lot of story because even in the original, they went through it really quick. Yeah. No, the original wasn't that long, was there?
I think it was, and then this is the British version. That's a double disc. I remember I bought it from my dad on accident. I was like, "Oh, this is not the original Doom."
Yeah, those the BBC series. The series was that was awesome. What's his name was in it? James McAvoy, or McAvoy. He was believe he was he a Paul or was he Paul's son? I don't remember. I don't remember now.
I don't think he was Paul's son.
Oh no, there's another show that talks about Paul's son. Yeah. Dune is awesome with the lore. So, and that's why I'm like my girlfriend never seen it, and she's like, "Oh, the first one was good. I liked it. It was very pretty to look at," which for sure it was. But she goes, "Oh, the story was good." I was like, "Oh, it's gonna get good."
And the thing about Dune is so good that Star Wars is taking part of Dune stuff too. That's
Oh
Dune is so deep. So I
yeah,
don't know. You'll enjoy it. People will.
yeah. Yeah. So yeah, if you guys want all that stuff, all that news, go check out the Facebook group. Link should be in the description. Post a bunch of stuff. Wednesdays we share Wednesdays, which is if you know what Movies Anywhere is, Movies Anywhere is your digital movie library. And what you can do is called Screen Pass. So you can send somebody a movie that is eligible for it. And they basically rent one of your movies for free for 7 days, or borrow. That's more of a better. They borrow your movie for 7 days. It still stays in your library. Nothing. They get to watch it, and they get 7 days to watch it, and then that's it. It's really cool. It's really cool thing.
Movie sharing platform that you can see movies. Yeah. We can all share all the movies that we have. I mean,
I think you could do 3 a month. So I've been putting out one a week, and there's a few that no one's claimed, but like today, since it is Wednesday as of recording this, I shared Mask of Phantasm, the Batman animated movie.
We already had this conversation.
I know we already had it.
So much. When I got the movie, it was a VHS, and in the VHS it had the comic with it. So I mean, I still have it to this day.
Oh,
I
nice.
love it so much. It's one of the best stories for Batman ever. But
yeah. So I put that on there. I was like, hey, who because all this Batman talk. I think last week I shared Batman Returns. It was with that post, and then this week did Mask of Phantasm, which is like you said, it's no one ever considers it. It's never in the talk because it's animated. But it's like, it's the best version of Batman, the best person who ever played Batman, in my opinion, like, because whenever you think of Batman, you hear his voice, and one of the best stories. I mean, it was so good. So I think Will actually snatched it up. He's like, if no one's gonna get it, I'm gonna take it. I'm like, take it, dude. So it's a great movie. It really is, and it's only like an hour and 15 long, maybe, or something.
I think it's 75 minutes long. I've seen it like 45 times. So
so
it's good. It's a good story. It's not like cheap, like one of those things that you feel like the story wasn't finished. No, it did a great job, and people will love it. If you haven't seen it, as I said, it was on VHS, so it was in the middle of the 90s or early 90s. It's like
peak like Batman animated series.
Exactly.
Yeah, whenever I'm bored, I own all the digital copies of the animated series, like the 3 seasons, all the movies and everything. And whenever I'm bored, I just like randomly put it on, on my Vudu account. I'm like, boom, play, start over season 1, So
I do that with Star Trek. Next year, I just randomly just like, I'm gonna go season 5, episode 13. I don't know what's gonna be. And I see, like, I've seen this 15 times. I'm still gonna watch it still.
Like, you're like mimicking the words. You're like really going with it. That's funny. That's weird. We got Derpy Holy Kenobi. Yeah.
Speaking of, let's get
right into it. See if I put the banner up, will it be in the way? So we are going to watch the Kenobi trailer.
Perfect. It works.
If I do full screen. Oh. Yeah, it works. I'm cool with that. Cool, man. Let's check this out and watch it. Number 1 on trending on YouTube.
It should be.
I'm so hyped for this.
The fight is done.
The music.
Stay hidden. The key
to hunting Jedi is patience.
Ah,
Jedi cannot help what they are. Their compassion leaves a trail. The Jedi Code is like an itch. You cannot help it. Where is he?
man. That's awesome. I thought that was a super cool little way to do the Disney thing.
That is amazing. Star Wars is great, and you know what? Star Wars was so well written that the characters still resonate with everyone, and everyone wants to know what happened in between everything because it's so well written. And you know, they try to recapture the same feelings you get. It's hard to recapture it. It's when you see Darth Vader. Darth Vader is the bad guy. He is the villain. Period. There's no in every story. There's not a villain made better. I mean, he is so awesome. I mean, epic. The swag. Talk about how you half machine got swag. I mean, just walking through. Just that's what he is.
That's all James Earl Jones, man. That was all James Earl Jones. I think because the voice made it complete.
Even the the breathing apparatus. I mean, it's just you hear it and you know it immediately.
Yeah,
and
he's supposed to be in this one. Hayden Christensen they already said he's on set. He's been seen. He hasn't been seen in any of the Vader stuff yet. Because at this point he is Vader. But I am so excited about this. So excited. But we got Derpy saying, wait, you haven't watched it? Out about you? I've seen it a couple dozen times already.
I've now watched it. This is now my fourth time watching it.
Fourth time. This is like legit probably my 12th time. Like right off the bat, I watched it like 4 times, like back to back to back, just to kind of like catch things.
I was slowing things down because I was trying to see do we see Vader? I know we hear him, but do we see him? Trying to decide, like, he knows where Luke is, how far, how close, how well does he know him? What is he doing in his off time? I'm just looking at all those little things, trying to see what this is going to be about. And all I know is it's going to be everything that everyone always had questions about. I feel like all those answers, all those things will be answered.
Yeah, I think it's gonna follow the comic because there's a comic of him kind of like watching and kind of helping out, and then Uncle Owen was like, stop it, like leave us alone. You're not getting him. You're not gonna train him. You're not gonna know who Luke is. Like, stop. So, I feel like it's gonna be like that. I will be surprised if Chris Hansen doesn't show up and they have their fight like in the comics because that was an awesome fight.
That's
yeah. And then I mean they
already showed him already,
with the scar.
Yep.
So you want to see it. Yeah. And Duel of the Fates, man, like they started off with the original music, and then like when they showed the Lucasfilm with and then it dusted away with the Duel of the Fates music.
Mm-hmm.
That was, like you said, goosebumps.
Give you goosebumps. So, yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So my favorite things is we get to see Inquisitors. I am so hyped for Inquisitors, dude, because Inquisitors are some of the coolest guys. Yeah, I'm assuming that's the Grand Inquisitor.
Yeah,
I forgot what his name was. Yeah, was it brother? They're all numbered, like or something like that. But so I don't know if you watched Rebels or not.
I've watched a couple.
Do you think Sarah Michelle Gellar makes an appearance? because she is one of the Inquisitors. She is one of the Inquisitors.
I think that's going to be something that's going to be hidden. Honestly, I believe that she will be in it, and it's going to be hidden because they don't miss out on these opportunities.
Yeah, I mean, especially like
you probably should explain who the Inquisitors are. So even though it kind of tells you the name.
Yeah, you might want to explain. Or is it? I don't think the average watcher would know who they are. No, and I think that's fine because I think they're definitely going to explain. So, but just for us, the Inquisitors were kind of they were supposed to be Jedi, so they have some connection to the Force, but during the Order 66 and all that stuff, what's his name? The Emperor wind up keeping a few of them and kind of molding them into these half-baked Sith Lords, I think is the best way to describe it, where they're not fully
Sith Lords.
Yeah, they're not really full, but they it's like they're just being tapped into what they could do. You know, well, they like we find out later. You know, I don't if anybody's seen Rebels, spoilers. The Grand Inquisitor was a Jedi, so I mean, he knows. That's probably why he's the main guy, because he probably has the most.
Well, and he probably gave him a choice. That's why I always believe that they gave him a choice, saying like, either you die here or you go to the Emperor and deal with him.
Yeah, so they're not really like, they're not Sith, they're not Jedi, you know, they're assassins as what, you know, they're like, they're little henchmen, but they are Force sensitive. You know, they do like it. If it was like 50 years prior, they would legit be all Jedi, you know, like all of them would have been trained. But since, you know, they kind of came in, the fifth brother, that's who it is. So back here, that's the fifth brother. What was that cool, like ancient, like Chinese kind of hat, the Raiden hat,
the Raiden.
Yeah. And then Sarah Jessica Park, not Sarah Jessica,
Sarah Michelle Gellar.
Yeah, Buffy. She played the seventh sister. Yeah, so
good call, Buffy.
Yeah, which is super cool because she was in it, and then obviously her husband, Freddie Prinze Jr., was Kanan in it as well. So I liked Rebels, you know, and it makes sense that they bring in the Inquisitors because they're going back to like a sequel to Rebels with the Ahsoka series. So you know, it's all legit. It's all gonna be live action.
My question to you now is, will this be better than anything we've seen from Star Wars in the last 2 years?
Ooh, it could be. It could be.
Really?
It could be. They kind of dropped the ball a little bit with Boba Fett.
But Mandalorian, really?
Mandalorian was really great. Was really great. Yeah. It was really great. I mean, I think, like I said, Boba Fett, I remember when we were doing our reviews, I think Boba Fett, the only issue with that was like, it's a Star Wars show without any like Force using, you know, and until we got, you know, the part. Yeah. Which, I mean, we were saying the first like 4 or 5 episodes until, you know, we got to where, you know, I don't know if anybody, we could probably spoil it at this point. Once we got to see Luke and Grogu, there was like nothing. And we always felt like it feels off. It was like, yeah, like no lightsabers, no Force stuff flying around and stuff. So in this one, I think it could be. I think it's going to be pretty cool. You know, like him, like Obi-Wan, like wanting to do something, but holding back because he knows he can't expose himself. Yeah,
I think that's gonna be frustrating for me watching him and wanting him to do it, but understanding that he can't because it's really just him out there in the desert. That's it.
yeah.
It is.
Then Derpy said most definitely better than the Book of Boba, possibly better than Mando, which I think for me because Space Jesus himself, Obi-Wan Kenobi. Yeah. Yeah. And I like how they made him look older too. Like he's starting to look like I can't think of
So now,
Yeah.
so you waited long enough that you can just let him naturally look good, like look like he's getting older. You don't have to do anything to it.
Yeah.
And I have a hard time thinking of Mandalorian because Mandalorian had Grogu, and the whole Baby Yoda fade thing. I mean, blew up. So
Yeah.
kids see Grogu, and they're like, "Oh, I want him," and all. It's a different attachment to, and with Kenobi, you're not going to have that attachment. It's going to fill in a lot of the blanks, but it's not going to have the same attachment because he's going to be denied that.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. I think seeing Hayden Christensen coming back is going to be really awesome. Supposedly, what's his name? Qui-Gon Jinn, Liam Neeson is supposed to have a cameo or two in there, which would be pretty cool. I think this one can definitely hit the OG fans, you know what I mean, and the prequel fans, so it's like, which is good. I mean, like you gave us the new stuff, and the people that like that, which is fine. I'm not a big fan of any of it. I'm really not that big of a fan of the prequels either. I'm more OG.
I'm definitely not a fan of the prequels.
I mean, but the same thing. There's people that are diehard prequel fans, like Star Wars Theory. Star Wars Theory is he loves the prequels.
I know,
and I'm like,
it drives me nuts every time I'm like, how?
Yeah, I know. But I'm like, well, real quick, Derby said John Williams doing the theme, just saying already has the edge. Yeah. It's gonna pull in those original fans, I think, for sure. Because it's getting to that time period. It's post prequels, but it's still pre OG stuff. So it's that nice time frame in between where Mando and Boba is between the new stuff and the OG stuff, so you kind of get both of those worlds. Yeah.
I'm going to appreciate when they have all this stuff out and you can watch it from one point to the other and really appreciate who wrote it better, who did a better job directing it. And I think you'll appreciate, I hate saying 4, 5, and 6 more, but yeah, 4, 5, and 6. I think you'll enjoy that more when you have it all laid out and realize how good they did, how just insightful he was at the beginning.
Yeah.
To be able to have all this story. We'll see.
Yeah. I mean, I still watch the originals. If I see them on TV, like A New Hope, Empire or Jedi, I put them on,
Okay.
And
real quick, what's the best one?
Everyone always says Empire, but I really like Jedi. I love Return
of Jedi. I do too.
Yeah. There's something about it. It's just the whole redemption of, and then obviously as you learn later, the whole thing with Anakin and stuff like that kind of makes it more, a little bit more meaningful.
I mean, also just the father-son relationship. Yeah, that's so huge. And you turn your back on something that had hold on you for all those years.
Yeah.
So that's just me.
Yeah, and Derby said, I enjoyed the prequels because he grew up on them, but I prefer and appreciate the original trilogy. Yeah, I mean, I think
Empire.
If you like the prequels or the sequels, you have to appreciate the originals, I think. Otherwise, that's the base of it all. But I get the same thing with people who love the sequels. They're the ones growing up on it now. Where like Derpy said, he grew up on the prequels. Same thing with Star Wars Theory. I don't know if anybody knows who he is. He's the biggest Star Wars channel on YouTube. But he loves the prequels, and I learned to appreciate them a little bit more after watching them a bunch of times. And like Attack of the Clones, I can't watch. That's just garbage.
Without that being said, I just
yeah.
I'm just done. I'm done.
Episode 1 had Darth Maul, which is like one of the coolest. After Vader, it's Maul for sure.
That's time to question. I agree, 100%. Darth Maul, and he kicked people's ass. He had the best lightsaber ever. The best.
Yeah.
Period.
He had a really good story. From beginning to end. I mean, shit, he was in charge of Mandalore for a while. He had the Darksaber as well.
Darksaber.
You know, so yeah, he had a really cool story. But well, Derpy's saying Empire, yeah, which I
totally understand.
I can't.
Empire, and I can't argue with you. I like the redemption story, but I totally understand why Empire is. I mean, because no one knew when he says, "Luke, I am your father," and no one knew that was what's going on. It literally changed everything for everyone. People walked out of the movie theater in shock. I've heard stories of people walked out and not say anything for 10 minutes before they're just soaking it all up, before they said anything. Just I understand why people like Empire, and I like Empire too.
Yeah. I mean, all the original trilogy, for me, are still the best. But the prequels, the Revenge of the Sith was pretty good. It just, there's parts of it where I'm like it doesn't make any sense. Like I don't know. Like you have to really kind of like push things that like that shouldn't be. You're like, okay, I guess this is happening, and it's like, but it doesn't make sense because like 5 minutes earlier the character said something complete opposite.
I think the thing that bothered me about the prequels was that if this stuff happened before and you knew what happened already with in those prequel movies, how would the stuff in 4, 5, and 6, New Hope, and Return of, how would all that stuff happen? If you knew it's the exact same formula, and you didn't, why would you think the same formula was going to happen again?
Yeah,
it seems like you have to suspend belief, and
it kind of pushed me. And then Derpy's like, the sequels aren't canon to me, at least. And I'm there with you. I've watched it a bunch of times. I really like The Force Awakens. I really like that.
9 was good, and they were going the right direction, and they just effed it up. I don't know what else to say.
I thought 9. I thought 9 was, well, 9 was the last one. Was
You're right,
the last
right.
Skywalker. It's 7, 8, 9.
7 was Force Awakens. Was really
Force. Yeah, but then you had all the fanboys, because like I'm the first to admit, like Star Wars is super toxic fan base, like one of the most toxic fan base. But all the fanboys are like, "Oh, you're just repeating the original." So what? like it starts off the same because history repeats itself, and then they can go. But then they threw everything out the window and went with don't remember 7.
Exactly what I was saying. 8 was so bad that 9 they just tried to please everybody, and that didn't work. And it basically, you just didn't tell a story. They should have went with 7, and they should have stayed with the story and stayed with the courage of their conviction, and then they would have gave us at least something different by the end of 8 and 9. And I hate that they changed the story so many times because they were just too afraid of, as you said, the fanboys.
Yeah. They were appeasing. I think like 7. They started off. They're like, they should have just like, be quiet. We'll get a good story, but instead they went from 7 and they're like, oh, the fanboys didn't like it, so let's completely change it because they want something completely new. And then they went so off script that it sucked so bad, and then there was no way 9 was going to be good. And like Kylo Ren had potential to be such a badass, because even like at one point I remember me and my girlfriend were talking like how whiny he was. Like he was acting like a child and a big baby. I'm like, yeah, because so was Luke, so was Anakin. Like it just runs in the family of the Skywalker family. They're just whiny kids. So it's same with Ezra. Ezra was a whiny kid at a certain point. So, and Ahsoka. I think it's just part of becoming a Jedi is you're a whiny brat.
Yep.
But then they turn it like the whole thing is like, let's forget the past.
I think, and it becomes part of the character arc, and it's a redemption. And we didn't get any of that crap.
No,
I didn't understand half of what was going on. Like, who thought this was a good idea?
Yeah. Supposedly, once in J.J. Abrams didn't want them to kiss, and Disney was like, no, they need to kiss because that's what people want. I'm like, that's the only time ever where you're like, don't kiss, like you're watching the movie. It was like it was just so bad. Like Rey should have died, and then Ben should have and because he would technically be the last Skywalker at that point.
Yep.
Like that would make more sense, but God forbid, like like the like that happened. But so we gotta move on. We got a bunch of other stuff, but we got Alyssa in here. What's up, my two favorite homegirls? What's up? She goes top 3 movie directors of all time. M. Night.
No.
He had good ones. He had some
made
good
The
ones.
Village.
Yeah.
Have you ever sat down and watched The Village and realized how ridiculous the whole concept was?
It was great until the end, and that's how he always is.
Like, what the hell are you doing?
Yeah, but he made Sixth Sense.
The Sixth Sense was great. Don't get me. Sixth Sense was great. I even like Signs until the end. Swing away. All right, whatever. And then
Signs was good.
But
that was pretty cool.
All the way to the.
But then he did the Last Airbender, so
he ruined that. I'm a huge fan of the Last Airbender. Avatar. He was the Avatar. Avatar. That was it. He ruined it. M. Night Shyamalan is just on my hit list.
Yeah, Martin Scorsese. I mean, and then Michael Bay. Yeah, Michael Bay
he's Michael Bay.
Exactly. You want a bunch of stuff blown up.
He's gonna blow up at least 4 or 5.
Yeah. The worst line in cinema, right? Yeah.
Oh, it was terrible. I mean, you saw it coming. You're like, please don't say it. Please don't say it. Please don't say it. Okay.
She should have died. She should have died. It makes more sense to the story. And then Kylo would have been the one alive. And then it would be more of a redemption for him. Because now he's like, oh shit, I did a lot of bad stuff, but now I have to be good, not only for my mom and my dad, but also for my other half.
Episode 8 shouldn't have even happened. And I agree. Finn's story made more sense. He should have been the one. Because he was part of the order. Like he was come out of nowhere. That's really coming out of nowhere. That's what it should have been. Yeah. And you know what? I would have been happy. I would have happened if Rey actually turned. And went
I mean, I think you could have done a cool story with that.
And then
because she saw the visions.
Yeah. And then with Finn and Ben actually have to go against Rey now.
That would have been a lot, but you would have had to set that up like early on in episode 8 for it to be over in episode 9.
Yeah, but we knew that she was somebody related to somebody, and we already know what Ben is, who he's related to. Yeah. And then with her being related to the Emperor, could have just it's in your blood.
My biggest issue is it's called the Skywalker saga, and that's wrong. It's the Palpatine saga, because all 9 movies revolve around one person.
Yep.
And how that one person manipulates a family. Like, so I was like, it's not the Skywalker saga. It's not
the entire everything. I mean, the Senate. He manipulated everybody in the entire universe, and
including Jedi,
and won.
Yeah. So I was like, it was so bad. It was so bad. But all right, let's move on, because I could talk Star Wars forever.
We will see. We really will do forever.
Yeah, because I mean, just Finn alone, I have a bunch of stuff to talk about.
Where's the transition?
Oh yeah. There we go. I forgot about it. And then real quick, the only problem for me about the new trilogy was there wasn't enough training for Rey in the story like Luke did until the final film.
It was done. She just figured it out. She was able to beat Ben, who got trained by Luke Skywalker since he was a kid. Was able to beat Ben without any training. What? All right, whatever.
I mean, I don't mind too much of that. Because like Ben was also kind of injured at that point because he got shot by Chewbacca. I can't think of his name. Like Chewbacca shot him, so he's fighting Rey with like a literal hole in his side. At that point from like Chewbacca's crossbow gun thing. Yeah. So I was like, all right, he's hurt, and whatever, and. I don't know. I mean, you could have explained it better in episode 8 on why she won, but you didn't, and then the training was just kind of like blah, you know. I see what they're doing because they're kind of doing it with Grogu now, where they're like, oh, see, he's super badass. And it was like, yeah, but you didn't really train. Well, he has it in him all along, like
Oh, no, we say he's remembering.
he's remembering,
already been trained. He's remembering it.
so, but that also means is he also a clone? Grogu's gonna be a clone. He's gonna be a clone. Like, that's it. Like they're gonna honor Lucas because Lucas said he never wanted to give Yoda a planet, and what's the next best way to do it is like, we don't want to get into Yoda's backstory. You just make a clone of Yoda, so
interesting word save you
because then you could do the same thing with Rey. You can do the same exact thing with, like, she's just remembering being the most powerful Sith Lord of all time because it's in her genes of being a baby from a clone, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah,
they're gonna do some stupid shit like that because they have to, because Disney's already telling them like Mando needs to tie in with
everything
the sequels.
Else.
Yeah. All right, let's move on. Yeah. Enough Star Wars to give you. I could, like I said, go on forever about it. All right, let's talk about this DC stuff. So we got a bunch of DC stuff that got delayed, which really sucks. So a quick rundown. It started off with Black Adam, so now that's getting delayed until October.
Yeah.
Instead of, I believe it was like June or July of this year. But we're still getting it this year. It's just a little later. And then because of that,
so that's why I was so confused about. And what they have to be adding scenes into it. They have to.
Yeah.
Because of the popularity of the Batman, they have to be adding stuff into it.
Yeah. Well, because of that, we got the Flash with its multiverse kind of thing that they were going to be doing. They got pushed back to June of 2023. And then Aquaman was supposed to come out at the end of this year. That got pushed back until March of 2023. So I wonder if those things are tied in with something from Black Adam. So they're like, this needs to come out before this.
I think it's all because it's the Batman. So I think they're going to reshoot things with the Batman, and I think Henry Cavill is going to come back as Superman, and they're going to shoot scenes with both of them in all the movies coming up. Yeah. The one guy who he might not have the best movie, but he is really good at being Superman. I think him with Batman, and I think they're going to reshoot, they're going to redo all of that stuff.
Yeah. I mean, especially what they're doing Flashpoint basically with the Flash, because the rumor is Michael Keaton's Batman is supposed to be like this new overseer of all the superheroes in the multiverse kind of thing. That's going to tie in all the shows and all the movies, and he's going to be like the head honcho of all the multiverse. That's the rumor, which would be awesome because he's the best Batman.
Yeah, he's the best Batman.
I don't care what you say.
I don't know. The Flash, I don't know. I feel like you only can have one Flash. For me, Grant is the one Flash. He's the one Flash. Like, you only have one, and I just can't look at. I look at it. I'm like, yeah, you're not.
I don't like the way Ezra Miller runs. I know it's not him personally running, but the way he's like, I'm like, no, what? I was like, yeah, it's all like because even Zack Snyder was like, oh yeah, it's supposed to be very fluid. I was like, that's stupid. Yeah. He's supposed to be lightning. When is lightning fluid? Yeah.
Like, why?
So, and he's like, why? Like you said, wobbles. I was like, oh.
Hand comes up.
Yeah. It was. I hate it. But Derpy said, I'm a DC fan, always have been. I've had enough of Warner Brothers at this point. They did good with the Batman, but they're so disorganized. Exactly. They are.
And that's exactly why we're getting all these delays, because now someone says we should reshoot stuff.
Yeah.
Instead of just, look, no, we had the story already. We could bring them together slowly. We could do an end credit scene.
Mm-hmm.
Why change the movie? Because I've been waiting for Black Adam. Yeah. I think The Rock is perfect for Black Adam. and it's gonna be a badass movie. I hope they don't put anything stupid in it.
Yeah, I hope not. I hope not.
They could have DC could have 3 great movies in a row.
Yeah, I think Aquaman's gonna be good. I think Flash is gonna be really good. They're bringing in the multiverse, which DC has a better multiverse by far. So
But we've seen Flashpoint so many times now too. That's the other thing. So it's not just it's the fact you're doing a Flash movie, as I said, where Grant is still there doing the Flash series, and he's done Flashpoint 3 of the last 4 years. Like we've had all these crossovers and all these Superman and Batman in the Flashpoints and all this stuff. So you already kind of know the story.
Yeah,
but you're gonna have to remake it. So I don't know.
Yeah.
I worry about
and that's what Derpy's saying. Yeah, they want to rush things instead of planning out. It's like stop. Like I know we were talking about it in our big Batman review that we did with everybody. Was they need to stop trying to compete with Marvel and do what they do best and just focus on them. Like stop it.
The best characters. Your worst character is better than most of Marvel's like number 1 characters. Like,
yeah,
who's the worst character in DC? What? It's between Aquaman and your favorite
Green Lantern, probably.
That's it. It's between Aquaman.
I would say even Aquaman's big. I would say Green Arrow. Because he's kind of sometimes he's on the team, sometimes he's not. But
it's like the great value Batman.
Yeah, basically.
Oh, he is.
But yeah, and I love Green Lantern for that. He has great stories, and they're trash, when then they're like, oh, hey, here's this dude in an iron suit.
Exactly. My point is like you take him and compare him to Iron Man, their number 1 guy. DC is better. DC has better characters, but DC can't get out their own damn way.
Yeah. Now it's kind of like it's too late. It's too late. Stop trying to compete with them. Let them do them, and then DC focus on DC stuff. And I hope these delays aren't them trying to shoehorn silly things in. Like you're saying like stupid stuff. And everybody said, so do you like a Batman that kills in Keaton? No. So you like a Batman that kills? I don't think Keaton never killed.
The character he would be a Batman that kills. I don't remember him killing anyone in the first movie
or in the second one.
Or in the second one, yeah. I don't know. Therapy, tell me.
Because even he tried to save the Joker.
Yep.
And then the Joker gave him the fake the fake thing. Yeah, who did Keaton kill? Because the Joker, but the Joker, he tried saving the Joker.
He tried, and Joker died. He didn't kill him.
Oh no! Then he did the battering thing to try to grab him, so he wouldn't escape. But then he was like slipping, and it was a weird one. He was not Keaton, but Batman did. Oh yeah, Batman. There's, but is Keaton's Batman? Meaning to the original or Returns? Batman Returns. I'm trying to think who'd he kill. I don't remember. Because I know he tried to save Selena. He tried to save Catwoman. Yeah, I don't remember who he kills in Returns.
Kill Joker.
Stop teasing us, Derpy. Tell us.
Yeah.
Who do you kill? Yeah. Also, I don't watch Returns as much as I watch the original, like 89 Batman. They're both great. I love them both, but
it says according to a well-calculated count by Mr. Sunday Movies on YouTube, Keaton's Dark Knight killed 17 people in Batman and 3 people in Batman Returns for a total of 20 victims. And Batman Bruce Wayne ended up killing either Joker's cronies, 17 being Joker himself, but he didn't really kill him. He just died.
There's the bomb on the chest with the clown from the circus, one of Penguin's henchmen.
Bruce Wayne Jester to torch alive the strong man he assisted in being blown up, and used the bats to send a controversial penguin fall into his death. The penguins were the only one really killed. He didn't. Yeah. The bomb to test the clown in the circus too. Yeah, she's right. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, but
I don't know. I don't think he didn't beat him to death, so he gets a pass.
or didn't shoot him, or the stupid thing that Zack Snyder did with Superman made him break Zod's neck.
Oh man, I don't know.
That was like really, like that's all you could do is break his neck rather than like facing his head somewhere or flying through the stupid roof. Like it was either Zack Snyder. I'm sorry, Zack Snyder is not a good director. Like we need to stop pretending he's a good director. He did 300, but also he did like panel for panel from the comic book in 300. So you know,
I didn't mind that. So I mean, I love 300. So
I love 300, but also he didn't do anything. He just copied the comic book.
Good job.
Yeah, exactly. Good job. So yeah, we need to stop with this Snyder. He's not good.
I just hope these delays.
Man of Steel was okay at best. I want to give it a great film.
It was good. I think the ending was terrible. So that once again, when you have a bad ending, it kind of makes the whole movie go.
Yeah, leave a bad taste, like as you're walking out. I mean, there's parts I didn't mind, and there's other parts that were just flat stupid. Like them completely destroying the city, I thought was kind of crazy. I'm glad they kind of explained a little bit of it in Batman v Superman. Where like, yeah, I know. I feel the same, but at least they were kind of like Batman was pissed that he's like, hey, yeah, you destroyed the whole city and I got to clean it up. So, but yeah. Yeah, man. So I'm hopefully DC gets their stuff together because I'm a fan and I want to see good stuff from them. I really do.
And they should be the better one. It's like, come on, man.
Yeah.
So okay.
Let's move on. So real quick before we move on, you want to watch this other trailer?
Yes.
Real quick. There it is. This movie looks freaking awesome. Oh, come on, man. My mouse is acting funny. Hold on. All right.
I can see this.
So, all right, let me do this. All right. So Nick Cage is in a movie where he is Nick Cage, which is the best thing ever. The best thing ever. Yeah, so I can blow this one up. So it's The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent. And it's just Nick Cage being Nick Cage with a bunch of great people around him. So it looks really awesome. So here, let's watch it.
What's the worry here, Nick? You've lost some of your talent as an actor?
No. What did he say?
He says he loves you, but he went in a different direction.
I'm done. I'm quitting acting.
Ah, man, I'm driving through the hills. I'm sorry. One more time.
We got another offer. It's $1 million. It's to attend a wealthy gentleman's birthday party.
The guy that owns this house, what's his name?
Javi. Mr. Cage.
Excuse me. Is Javi going to want me to,
I'm not sure I understand.
Look, it's Javi.
I am Javi.
Nick Cage. This place is stunning. What is your favorite movie?
I feel that he would do something like that in real life.
To answer. You can't just limit it to one.
Imagine me and you, I do.
Is it too much? Is this supposed to be mean? It's grotesque. I'll give you 20,000 for it.
I can't see me loving nobody but you for all my life.
I didn't know that was a cliff. We could have died.
I'm in. prime position.
I think that's the actor Nick Cage.
Nick Cage, I love you. Have you seen Cruise 2?
I'm 44 years old. Why would I see Crudes 2? I've seen Face Off and Con Air.
What do you guys want?
We're with Central Intelligence. Do you know who you're spending time with? One of the most ruthless men on the face of this planet. I need you to help the U.S. government.
Let's kill this.
Find a way into that room, Nick.
I can see myself doing more of this stuff. I think I might have a real gift for it.
Good, because we got another mission for you.
No.
Your friend is working for the U.S. government.
Don't lie to me.
Are those my golden guns?
They're my golden guns.
I don't want to kill you. You're the last person I want to kill. I love you. I love you.
I'm Nick.
Oh my god, that is so Nick Cage. It is hilarious. I love that.
Yeah. If there's one good thing with him, with his tax problems, it's us getting a bazillion Nick Cage movies because some of his movies are so stupid. Like the whole Five Nights at Freddy's one that he did.
Yeah.
It's not called Five Nights. It's called something else. But it's basically the same premise. But it was so good.
It was literally Nick Cage is turning to Samuel L. Jackson. He's going to do 72 movies in the next 3 years. And you know, so you see every other movie that Samuel L. Jackson was in every movie. He was like Waiter 2 in one movie. That's how Nick Cage is going to be, just a random guy just walking through. So I can't wait.
But at least like Samuel L. Jackson did it because he just likes acting and getting paid. Like Nicolas Cage needs to do it because he has to pay. He has to pay the taxes that he owes on all the stupid shit that he bought. So, but Willy's Wonderland. That's where he's like this killer inside of a bootleg Chuck E. Cheese, and they're killers. So it's like a Five Nights at Freddy's where the animatronics are murdering the people. And he was sent in there to be like a sacrifice, but he's like a badass. So he winds up killing him, like really funny way. If you haven't seen it, that is a must watch.
I'm going to watch this now tonight.
It's not a great movie by any means, but it is such.
What's it called?
Willy's Wonderland.
Willy?
It looks like it's a poster for a fake movie, like legit. But yeah. He barely talks in it. I think he maybe says like a handful of words like throughout the whole movie. Yeah, right.
$10 million, 10 words. That's what you get.
Yeah. Period. So it is such a funny movie. So great. It's not great. It's not a great movie, but it is a great Nick Cage movie. I don't know if that makes any sense.
Only Nick Cage can do Nick Cage. That's just what it is.
Yeah, I mean he's done amazing like in the movie Con Air, Face Off. I watched a bazillion times.
I've seen God of 60 Seconds literally 3,000 times. I mean, there's movies that Nick Cage has done that just are there are some epic movies, but he still. I mean, she said Cruise 2. I was like, Cruise 2 was good, but funny. Cruise 1.
Yeah. Yeah, he was in The Rock, National Treasure, Wild at Heart. Yeah, there's the whole thing with him being Superman.
That would be awesome.
That was cool. Yeah,
Tim Burton directed a Superman movie with Nicolas Cage being Superman.
Mm-hmm.
It'd be an emo Superman.
Yeah,
it'd be awesome.
Yeah, but now he's doing movies like Jiu-Jitsu and Willy's Wonderland and. Pig wasn't too bad. He did Mandy. Mandy is a studio a Legion M movie. So, but I heard that one was kind of crazy. The Mandy that just came out.
Here's how the phone call goes. Okay, you want me in what movie? Sounds stupid. Okay, how much?
Yeah.
I'll be there Thursday. All right, bye.
Yeah. Exactly.
That's how it goes.
So that looks super, super awesome. This summer. So we're definitely reviewing that one. I don't
It didn't say April.
April, I think it said. Yeah, for sure. For
After
sure.
Morpheus, we're getting Nick Cage being Nick Cage. Awesome.
Yeah. All right. Let's move on to our next topic. And then also real quick, we got Derpy that came in and said he went to the theater premiere for Batman v Superman. My first reaction was very clouded. I was like, and then I saw it again and realized it was awful.
Mine was I was watching that. I was literally looking at my wife like, did that just happen? Did they just do that? This is stupid. Just like,
Some of the scenes looked amazing, like Ben Affleck as in his bat suit and the steel anti-Superman suit, super cool. The whole fighting scene when he breaks in to go save Martha,
Martha?
Was it Martha?
Why you say that name? Why did you say that name?
I know, it's so stupid. He went to go save Lois. Yeah, so excuse me, but yeah, it was kind of like ugh. But let's move on to we can bring this up real quick. I don't think we need to talk too much about it, just besides how messed up it is.
So Ryan Coogler goes to a bank, and he has mask on, and he's Ryan Coogler, so he has sunglasses and a hat on, and he tells
pictures.
Has his account number, a bank slip, and
I didn't know they had pictures.
So he has a bank slip. He has the account number on there. He says he asked for $12,500, but he didn't. He asked, put a little note on there that says, "Hey, please count it in the back. I don't want everyone to see all this money being counted in front of them."
Yeah.
And the teller then says, "Oh my God, he's trying to rob us." What? Like, what? Like, I think it's a Bank of America, and he's like, he put on there his account number. He signed the slip. All the stuff that you need to worry about, he did that. And then just put a little note, say, "Hey, count in the back. Please don't do this right in front of everybody, because I don't want to see when people ask me for money. I don't want."
How does TMZ get all this stuff? So this is the alleged letter, and it says, "I would like to withdraw 12,000 cash from my checking account. Please do the money counter somewhere else. I would like to be discreet."
But he put the account number.
And
all
you
the
have
other
to.
stuff is on there.
Yeah.
Like he filled it out, and he just put the little note on the side. So he isn't. And she says he's trying to rob the place. And he just they come and they arrest him. They put him in handcuffs.
Yeah.
Put him in handcuffs. What? Like, this is like out of a bad movie, like a bad Western. Like, please hand me $10,000 of small unmarked bills. Don't say anything. What?
I don't know. Where was this at? Was this in LA or was this in Atlanta? Because they're doing
I think it's in Atlanta, because
they're still doing Atlanta PD. Atlanta PD.
So in Atlanta, while he's making Black Panther 2, the most famous directors out right now, the hottest one out there right now. And he's taking money out of his own account with his account number. The first thing you do is not say, "Hey, can I see an ID?" You just say, "Call the police. Come get this guy." What the hell?
So this was back in January. So it wasn't like too long ago. So you could have easily like asked for an ID and like, "Hey, can you just pull your mask down real quick?" Simple. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, and it was like in January. So COVID was already kind of starting to dwindle down. I mean, there was the big surge there. So I don't know. You
could have
the whole thing
ID and then gave him this money and called your bank manager. That's it. They put him in handcuffs.
It was like, so obviously the teller went to the manager and I'm like, did no one, you just read the note and forget like the name and all the info he put on there?
You just check to see if their account exists, any of that stuff.
No,
I'm
sure
come on.
Yeah.
You could have put numbers. Those are fake numbers. They're only your 11 numbers for you because it's Bank of America.
Yeah.
Well, you could have stolen it from somebody.
Yeah. It would be like one thing if it said like like 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9. Like like something like that, like 00001. Like, come on, man. I mean, at least look at the account. At least look at the numbers. I don't know. It's super sucky. I mean, I guess if you're afraid you're gonna get robbed, but I mean, I doubt he was acting funny because there's no reason to be acting funny. You know, from the picture, he just had a hat and glasses on, like a normal person. I mean, the mask, everyone was wearing a mask, so it's not like anything out of the ordinary.
Do you guys see that he has a Rolex watch on his left wrist?
It's true. Yeah.
Come on, man.
Yeah.
Come on.
And I'm sure those aren't like dollar store glasses either. I'm sure, you know, an unfuzzy one says like Gucci or something on the side.
Like, really, guys? Really? I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't want to say what I want to say, but I'm not going to say it right now. I'm going to say,
yeah,
white man can't go get his own money in the bank.
Yeah. Yeah.
But whatever.
Yeah. I mean, he seemed, now that it's out, it seems pretty chill about it. I'm sure he wasn't chill about it 2 months ago.
Yeah,
he
said,
yeah. It said this situation should have never happened. However, Bank of America worked with me and addressed it to my satisfaction. Oh my God. Satisfaction. My wife. Oh my God. And we have moved on. I need to move on from that word. I don't know why I'm getting tongue tied. Satisfaction.
Yes.
Jesus. Oh my God. Yeah. So that's kind of a bland thing. Is like, shouldn't have happened, but everyone fixed it and let's move on. You know.
Yeah. They gave him money and said, "Look, we'll do whatever you want. We'll pay your mortgage for the rest next year. We own your mortgage. No, now you own your mortgage. No worry about it." Sorry, Mr. Cooper.
I mean, I get it. I mean, you're walking out with $12,000 cash.
You don't want people counting in front of you. I wouldn't want that.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think he asked for anything out of the ordinary. You know, it's like, hey, can you just count it over there? And then he's putting the trust in you. Like for me, like it was like he's like, I trust you're gonna count $12,000, and then I'm gonna take it and leave without counting it. So it's like,
just be discreet. I don't want anyone seeing in the middle of Atlanta me counting $12,500 in front of you. Yeah. I'm not trying to get robbed. I'm trying to get back to my car.
Yeah.
That's it. Okay. Well, I told my wife that. She was like, "Why did he just go through drive-thru?" I was like, "You want to ask for $12,500 through drive-thru?" Yeah. I think there's a limit. I think it's $2,000.
So I didn't know this too. It said when the officers arrived, they detained two people waiting outside for Ryan in the SUV. So the people he was with, and then went in and brought Ryan Coogler himself out in handcuffs.
Yep.
So it was like not just him; it was also the people he was with. Damn, I didn't know that.
Yeah,
that sucks.
He probably owns his house now. That mortgage, his mama's mortgage, gone.
Yeah,
it's his now. It's okay.
So here, so this is all according to TMZ. So they said here, according to the report, when the teller went to make the transaction on her computer, it triggered some sort of alert. So she told her boss Coogler was attempting to rob the bank, and they called 911.
And the alert is, if anyone knows, you can't take a withdrawal for over $10,000 or deposit for over $10,000 without getting certain information taken care of. That's just what it is. It's tax purposes.
Yeah, because even like I think I pulled out like a couple thousand at once. Like the one time I had that much money in my bank, but even then they wanted like 3 forms of ID. I was like, do people even have 3 forms of ID? Because what the hell, So, but so I can't even imagine.
It's $9,999. Once it goes over that point, there is a thing that can, So you have to have taxes. You have to fill out forms. It's just what it is. Ryan Coogler should have known that. But it's not his fault to get arrested. I mean, really, you got arrested from my account number. You have all the information. Sorry. Whatever. Okay.
Yeah. So then it says in the end, cops realized this was a screw up, and Ryan had actually done nothing wrong. Sounds like Ryan wasn't too pleased. The report notes that he asked for badge numbers of all the responding officers once everyone was released.
Hell yeah. He's making a movie about it tomorrow, guys. It's come out tomorrow.
That's right. Fruitvale Station. we watched that not too long ago. He directed that, wrote it.
Well, because it actually happened. So it's really easy to write someone. It actually happens. And that happened to you? Wow.
Yeah, that sucks.
What can I say? Nothing else to say. Let's move on.
Yeah. Let us move on. Break this down. And then real quick, we got Andy Martinez coming in. What do you think of Ghostbusters Afterlife? I think it was cool. So we did Ghostbusters Afterlife. Sorry, I know you were waiting for the comment for a little while. But we did it before. So I think if you go back and look at our reviews,
I liked it a lot.
We did it. I said watch it now. I loved it. A lot of people were like, "Oh, it's too nostalgic." I was like,
"No,
what do you expect? That's what I wanted." Like, just throw all the nostalgia at me. I want it. So yeah, I enjoyed it. But yeah, if you want to go watch the full review, go check it out. It should be in our movie review playlist. So go back, not too far either.
Now.
Yeah. But let's talk about this Bel-Air episode 6.
Yeah, awesome.
Wow.
I love the strength to smile. So just
is that the name of the episode?
Yeah.
Oh.
Real quick, so Will is basically navigating his feelings about Trey because they just blew up, and then he has his feelings with Lisa, and then Lisa's dealing with her mom's they're doing a fundraiser for lupus because her mom died of lupus, whatever, and Will's dealing with his decision to stay in Los Angeles, and he's being roasted on all the social media, and they all tell him he's branding him a traitor and stuff like that.
Snake.
And Snake, and he has to kind of deal with that. And that's kind of how the whole episode starts.
Yeah, right off the bat, it was man. I mean, this is episode 6, so we're on the back end of the season.
Mm-hmm.
And man, already there's a lot of stuff that happened. I wound up watching this episode twice. I watched when it first came out, and I wound up watching it today during my lunch just because I wanted to see if I missed anything and refresh it. But yeah, man, that's
a lot of stuff that happened today. I mean, first thing, I was Will being upset, and the way that Uncle Phil dealt with him was awesome.
Yes,
I love that. Like, and he got angry and all that stuff. He said, "Go to my office right now." And he looked him in the eye and talked to him about, don't you think your aunt had to deal with the same thing with people as we, moved out here, and people saying that we left them? I know exactly personally. Or why don't you go look at my campaign? Look at what people are saying on YouTube about me right now. Or Instagram about me right now, or Twitter about me right now.
Yeah.
You're in a house with other people, and they're also dealing with stuff. One, that we understand what you're going through, and two, you still have to be respectful of other people no matter what's going on in your life. And that's a lesson that I wish more people will learn. Mm-hmm. You're going through something, yes, you are, but you still have to learn to deal with stuff because other people are going through things too.
Yeah.
I just wish people would learn that.
Yeah. That was I mean, like, I like the Uncle Phil drops of I don't know, knowledge or wisdom. There's little hints of wisdom, like he kind of like what he did in the original one, and this one was pretty good. He's done it before. And I don't think I really caught on the first time I saw it, and then I watched episodes again and see it, and then this one like that. That was really good. And that was right at the start of the show. He's also like at the end of the show, he gives Carlton some advice. It was he thought something else was going on that actually wasn't, kind of stuff. But he
cokehead.
Yeah, it's the anxiety. I was like, if only you knew. But
it is anxiety. He's doing drugs because of anxiety, not just
yeah. Which Well, we'll get into that towards the end because I have some questions like, what do you think about stuff? But yeah, man, it was like the whole Trey thing. I was like, oh, really, Trey? I'm like, you're gonna be like that? I was kind of upset about that. I was like,
that's exactly what I expected to happen.
Yeah,
you know, it's exactly what Andre said. You know, towards the end of it, it's like, look, he's hurt. He just lost his best friend. You caused a lot of these problems, and you're going on and doing your thing. He's stuck there to pick up the pieces. And you know, once again, Will was the king of the high school. He was the king of basketball. He was everything. They thought that he was coming back and he was going to save the day.
Yeah.
So now people are hurt, and he's going to get their wrath because of hurt feelings. You got to understand that, and you have to understand people feeling that way.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it's time for him to grow up.
Yeah, which I think you could definitely see just the little bit of time he's been there. He's becoming a very different person. You know, like just his whole demeanor on everything. But
he's very helpful on a lot of things, but there's some snakish stuff that he does that I really want to talk about.
Yeah. Oh, in this episode?
Period. Just overall. I don't know if I want to get to it right now, but yeah, you know what? I'm gonna say it anyway.
Let's get into it.
When you see your cousin doing whatever he's doing with Lisa, and you know that they had a previous relationship, no matter what. Shouldn't you give some time to breathe? Carlton just told you upstairs that he saw you and Lisa and he heard what she said, so he's hurt, and that's what created this whole drug issue, right? Don't you think you maybe shouldn't be kissing her 37 minutes later?
Uh-huh.
Knowing that this caused your cousin to go to this drug problem. Don't you think you should give it some time? He did so good, with being there for Carlton and telling Lisa that it was Carlton's idea, and finally repairing that relationship a little bit with him. Don't you think you should probably not kiss her right now? And just be supportive of your cousin.
He shot it all down, which I thought I'm like, oh, cool. He's giving him credit. He was there with Carlton. I'm like, all right, we're gonna get this relationship. And then it just like he nuked it out of the water with the kiss. I was like, come on.
For what reason?
Yeah.
If you would be honest with yourself and you're just trying to be there for her as a friend because she needs that there, then you should look, hey, let's give this time to breathe. And he could just tell her that. Let's give this time to breathe before we do too much.
Yeah.
Because, it affects other people. Once again, the lesson he learned at the beginning of the episode, he didn't learn.
Mm-hmm.
Other people are affected. You have to deal with other people's feelings. Just because you feel one way doesn't mean that you can deny and not remember what other people are feeling.
Yeah.
And I feel like he really didn't learn that again.
Yeah. It was like, even now that we're talking about that and stuff like that, we find out what happened with Lisa's mom and her dad. Stuff like that. I don't want to spoil too much about it, but there's some shady stuff going on. I was like, he just found out about that, and it's like, not only does that affect Lisa because she doesn't know yet, but it's also like you see how things like little things can become bigger problems.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like you gotta step away from those situations like that, and I mean that's the immature, high school teenager kind of stuff, mentality. But yeah, it sucks.
Like the Will seems like he's the one doing things for everybody and being there for everyone, and he has so many talents because he plays the piano and everyone loves him. He's great at basketball and he's charismatic and all that stuff. He's so self-centered that he doesn't realize that he's causing some of these problems himself.
Yeah.
And if he only could take a step back and be mature enough to take a step back and say, I can still get everything that I want without injuring and damaging everyone that, my family.
Yeah.
I feel like he misses out on that.
Yeah. I mean, he had that in Philly too. Now I think about it, because it was Trey, like Trey, but the opposite, Trey was always there for him and was always had his back, but he always still
put him in those situations.
Yeah, did bad things. Now it's the same thing with Carlton, but Carlton don't like him, but he's still doing things to Carlton to put him in bad situations, you know? So, you know, some Carlton kind of deserves, but, you know, some like, you know, this episode, like,
I'm not saying
that's on you, man.
I'm not saying he's a good guy at all. But when you are there in his lowest moment to really make that relationship work and for him to start trusting you and for things to change, you should have let things breathe. You already know how he feels about Lisa. It doesn't matter what she's saying, because you know what? That relationship could be there whenever. But right now, you know what Carlton feels for her, and that he just got shot down, and he just went into this drug problem, and you were the person that was there for him.
Mhm.
And then within half an hour, you're gonna go kiss the person that he really wants to be around, dude. Let it breathe. Give it a second.
Yeah.
Think about other people in your life before you make moves.
Yeah.
But I think that's going to be a recurring theme in this entire show.
Yeah. I mean, I hope eventually it gets to the point where it's kind of reminiscent to the old one where they're that brother kind of stuff and stuff like that, but it's not going to be. This episode proved it's not going to be for a while.
Yep.
You know, I think we were both saying, hoping by the end of the season. I think it's going to get worse before it gets better now. You know,
that was stinkish stuff by Will.
Yeah. So that was the big thing with Will and Lisa and Carlton, I guess, because their stories all intertwined together. But I say this one was probably mainly focused on Aunt Viv. She was definitely the main person of this episode. Man, what was his name again? We looked it up last time. Her artist buddy that keeps kind of the Michael something, Michael Ellie.
Yeah, but what's his character in there? And I can't remember what his character in the episode is, but I gotta say, Uncle Phil, boy,
Reed.
So here, we and my wife were watching the episode at the same time, and she says, "Why is he so insecure? Why is he doing these things?" I said, "So Reed is walking around my house in an area that I don't allow people to be in. People are not supposed to be in. Now he's there with my wife.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't introduce himself. He thinks he felt comfortable enough to do those things in this area that's off limits to people. And he's there with my wife. And yes, I'm going to go and tell him, like, first of all, I would have said to him, you're not supposed to be here. I'm glad that she's here, but this doesn't involve you. So I need you to go back to where you guests go. And you don't need to be in this area." And he might have handled it a lot better than I would have handled it, because I've been like, "Look, bro,
I think that's a politician in them.
Yeah, I don't let people, just be in areas of my house with my wife, bro." So yeah.
It was also her reaction when he walks in the room and he's like, "Who's this?" She's like, "Oh, it's his name is like a lot of like stuttering over her like words and and stuff like that." So it was like you got caught, and that's what like people do when you get caught. You're like, "Oh, I wasn't touching that." You like try to push it back in really quick. I mean, that's kind of what it was. I was like, because then that kind of gave Phil like a little like, okay, what's going on here?
What's going on? Exactly.
Yeah, Mr. Smooth over here, because boy,
I'll let people with light skinned people with green eyes be just walking in my house like that, man. No, where's Jeffrey at? Hey, Jeffrey.
Yeah,
we got one. We're gonna
get into that in a second, because Jeffrey, he just keeps showing how badass he is, man. But Aunt Viv was her whole thing. Even what was her Lisa's stepmother. I forgot what her name was. Jessica, or what was her name? Linda? I don't remember.
Or something like that.
Yeah, something like that. And she even like threw like unintentionally, but like digged at Aunt Viv. She goes, "Oh, I can't let a child like hold me back from my dreams. I gotta do it." And then like Aunt Viv's friend is like, "Oh yeah, next thing you know, it'll be 15 years." And like looks at her, and Aunt Viv is like, "Before I slap somebody."
She gave this side look like,
it
was like, all right, I'm about to walk off and I'm gonna handle the rest of this party because no.
Yeah.
And then Angela follows her and says, like, hey, you think I want to say something about this stuff? And she was like, you crazy. There's no way.
Yeah.
We already had this whole thing set up. This is not about you. You need to stop doing this stuff. And she warned her. So that was the second time she's now warned her twice. Now, during the dinner, she goes and talks to Lisa about it. So I talked to your dad, and he thought it was a good idea. And Bill was like, no, okay. You get the
Not in my damn house.
Now we're gonna have a conversation. After I now know that you've been you cheated on this person who I felt like I love like a sister. I now know that I didn't expose you, but now I already told you, 2 hours ago to not do this. That's not what we're going to do.
Yeah.
And you're gonna come to my house to try to usurp me? No, you're not.
Yeah.
It's not about you. That's what it came out, and I thought that was kind of cool that she said that.
Yeah. Yeah, she got the ghetto came out a little bit because all the rest of the time she was very composed.
That was more like, hey, that's the black woman. That's the part of black woman that I love. I see those things and I'm like, oh boy. Hey, you saw Phil was like,
he like
that was a whole mood. Yeah, like, hey,
yeah, because even like the tone of her voice, the way she spoke, just the way she like handled herself was just like her like shoulders dropped. She's like, what? Like, you need to get the F out of this house. Like she legit said, like, not in my house. Like, get that shit out of here. And I was like, damn.
You're not in these situations a lot, but I'm telling you, I've been in situations where a black woman has said, you're disrespecting my house. You are saying things. I've given you chances. Now it's time for you to get the fuck out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't like cursing like that, but that's what she did. And that was, there's nothing like that. You just don't understand when a black woman, there's some things when a black woman says these things, hey, everyone stands up. You know what? Sometimes all you do is you just kind of say, all right, let her take care of it. And I'm just going to be here supporting her.
Yeah.
And I thought that was pretty awesome.
Yeah.
But this
Also,
whole Reed situation, he gonna get one of those what's called those bricks that you tie to someone's waist. You're gonna get one of those tied to his waist and going to the LA River.
Cement shoes.
Yeah, keep on
Go
playing.
swimming.
I say you gonna get a cinder block tied to his belt. Keep on playing.
Yeah.
One more time.
And I think he thinks he's smarter than everyone else, because I guaranteed, because he made that deal with Viv where he's like, if somebody spends 15,000, you got to come to my gallery kind of thing. He put 15 grand on there, but he knew the way the interaction went, he knew Phil was jealous, and he's like, oh, I can win. He goes, I don't got to pay a dime, and I get her. He goes, with her own money, basically, or with the family's own money. I was like, he thinks he's gonna be super smart, and Jeffrey's gonna come up in there and slap him around.
I said Jeffrey's so awesome. I bet you he has a pot. He's so dapper and looks so cold. It's so put together, and he's not a big man. But he went to the chief of police and was like, "Hey, do we have a problem?
Right in his face.
Have a problem?" It's like that was the most gangster thing I've ever seen ever. I was like, it was short of him taking some powder and blowing it in his face and taking it and having a black girl coming and taking him out. That's what it was.
Oh, I'm sorry. We got some comments I missed out. Miro, man. Sorry. I'm a black woman too.
Oh my god.
What is that? My neighbor's 85-year-old widow black woman, and she makes the best freaking chili you ever have.
Oh my
sorry. I wasn't paying attention. Hope your glasses fog up.
Hey, that's how I was feeling when I was watching the episode. I was getting angry. My wife saw me getting angry. I was like, man, look, Reed, you got about 3 more seconds. And we're gonna have a problem real quick. Keep on going.
Yeah.
Keep on doing your thing. You're trying to be all smooth. I'm so smooth. I'm gonna put some grease on you. We're gonna fry you right now. Like, man, that was crazy.
Yeah, but he's gonna get caught up, and See, now it's just like, who's gonna beat him up? Is it gonna be Jeffrey, Phil, or Viv? So
Phil ain't
it's gonna be one of those three.
Phil got henchmen.
That's true.
Phil got
slap him
henchmen.
around, and then Jeffrey will come in and finish the job.
Boy.
Yeah.
That was the big part of the episode, and I felt a kind of way about that. I wanted to get that off my chest because you don't just do that. You don't walk in someone else's house and disrespect them. You ain't got like stepping over boundaries. There's boundaries that men have with women. There's boundaries what you have when you have a husband and wife, and there's boundaries in the house. And this Reed dude, he's the habitual line stepper, as Marvin used to say all the time. You're stepping over this line habitually, and now we're gonna have a problem. Now you become a problem, and I don't like habitual line steppers in my life. And you gotta get those. You gotta get habitual line steppers out your life. That's what it is.
When we do the last episode, we need to get Marvin on. I miss him, man, because he always said like funny stuff like that. We need to get him on for the last episode and do a whole season.
And that's one of those things. Habitual line steppers, get them out your life, man. You can't let habitual line steppers be in your life like that. No.
Wow.
No. And let's redo is a habitual line stepper, and it's time for him to be taken out.
Yeah, I mean, Angela did the same thing. Now you think about it, she kept saying like, "Hey, I want to do this. I want to like, don't, no." And then finally, she's like, "Oh, I'm gonna do this." It's like, no, you're not. Like, get the F out. You know.
So she said, "Look, I gave you once. I warned you. Hey, I'm not gonna cause any problems. This is cool. Don't do that." Oh, now you're gonna do this again? Habitual line steppers, man. You gotta get them out your house, man. It's time.
Also, how stupid is she? Like she just got caught up about having an affair. Like, you better stay super quiet. You're like, hey, I'm gonna sit all the way in the back until we're done. Like, you need to stay out of the spotlight. What are you doing, lady?
This whole thing is about one person, and she died in 2019. So that's when you started with him. Oh, okay.
Yeah. You should have been like, I'm going home. I'll see you tomorrow. like, I thought that was stupid. I was like, you just got caught up and you want to act like nothing happened. I was like, come on. I'm like, you need to hide for the rest of the party.
You should say another damn thing.
Yeah.
What you doing?
Yeah. I mean, just that alone would have been enough. What else we had? Oh, then there's the Hillary and the Ashley thing going on. I thought that we'll start with the Ashley thing because that was pretty simple. You know, I think we saw that coming already. So
in his will.
I know. So it was a little love triangle. So the boy, the one that Ashley likes, and Ashley, they're playing like pinball and you know, she was gonna like profess her love to Lucia. What's her name? I think Lucia.
Yeah.
And she's like, then she kind of like stepped in. She goes, "Oh, I have a crush on your cousin," you know. And then she was kind of telling Ashley like, "Hey, he likes you."
Yeah.
You
He's
know,
there. He got this bow tie on. I like I liked his swag. I like what he did.
Yeah.
They said, "Hey," she said, "Hey, go on to go get me a drink." He says, "Yes, dear." What would you like? Whatever you like, I got you. And she was trying to play him like here because she was trying to like, hey, she already beat your high score. It's like, hey, that's fine. I don't care. Oh, you want a drink? Let me go get you a soda. Let me get how many cubes of ice would you like? I like that. I like that in him. I was okay with him. I was a little disappointed Ashley with being so hurt, this is her first heartbreak. But I was a little disappointed with Ashley not still being able to keep her friends and deal with it head on. But she's 12 years old. I guess you gotta be understanding, but you can't just throw them out the parties. You just invited them to. They just came all the way to the other side of town, and you just threw them out. Like, man, you just throw me out of this house.
I guess now that we're talking about that's like the overall theme about it is like, you're not the only one in this house with problems. You learn how to deal your problems. That was everybody in this whole episode. That was the entire theme. Like, Phil set it up in the beginning, and it just ran its course through every character.
It's about navigating your feelings without stepping on everyone else's. Can you do that?
Without making it like a burden on everyone else?
Exactly, because it's not always about you. And what it was about Lisa's mother, and you need to just let that be.
Yeah. But Hillary's was the big shock at the end, which I was like, oh, come on, And I feel like Ashley had something to do with that because Ashley gave her that little like, oh, it's your dream and nothing's gonna stop you, and I think she might be going to places that she might regret later, kind of thing. Or
I'm not going back into the pool house.
Yeah.
And I thought she was going to film, stay there, and she was going to film what was going up Lisa's like speech about her mom, and then tie it in and say, hey guys, my followers, hey, I made this big feast for the memory of her mom. And then you film her speech, and you tell her, and you say, talk about relationships. You say, that relationship with her mom is so strong. And then you go to your mom and say, I'm so proud of my mom for putting this on here and saying those things. And should have had that her mom snapping on Angela in front of her. Should have had that on there, and that would have went viral. And she would have been cool. But instead, I was so sad that she got to take off her clothes and do something for the gram. And I wasn't happy about that.
Yeah, that was like disappointing because I was like, she's such a in so far the first 5 episodes, a very strong, powerful like woman. It was like she knew who she was and she respected herself, and her family and everything like that. And now it's like
when the pressure's on,
it sucks.
Yeah, pressure reveals character, and what happens is the pressure gets on, and then to get the viral stuff, she takes off her clothes.
Yeah. Like,
so now
stay in the house.
That's not just going to affect her. That's once again, it's going to affect everyone else around you. So, and she did so good in the middle of her pressure thing that she was dealing with. She came to help her mom, and she came to help her family, and then she did that. I was so disappointed.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely going to affect Phil, with his, DA run. Like for sure it's going to affect because well, then you find out Lisa's dad, the police chief, is now running for the DA. So he's running against Uncle Phil, which is like, man, it was a little like, I get like you don't agree with what he's saying, but you to do that is like, that's extra shady. I'm like you're trash for that. Like you're just proving Uncle Phil's point, if anything, you know what I mean? Like that's how I took it.
Exactly.
So
I don't know.
Yeah. So poor Hillary. I was really upset with that.
Yeah,
I mean, I know it's not going to be who she becomes, but it could turn into, because then I mean, it's because everything's very real world, and OnlyFans, which is kind of what I feel like it might be turning into, because once you dip your toe, and she's gonna be viral for sure. Like very attractive young woman.
She already has all those followers, and now
Yeah.
someone in that house is taking their clothes off.
Yeah. So I mean, she's gonna get more and more views, and it's gonna keep getting more and more in that rabbit hole. Oh man, it's gonna be
about one thing, but when the pressure's on, and then you have to take off your clothes to get the people, and that was I don't know. I was disappointed in that. So
yeah, and then so one last thing before we go on to something else real quick. Jeffrey didn't have a lot of lines in this one, but boy, oh boy, man, like because there was a part, like you said, he goes up to the police chief's face, is like, do we got a problem? And he's just like dead stare, like I will kill you.
This goes to him like, look, this is the chief of police of LA.
Yeah.
And he walks up to him and says, do we have a problem?
Yeah.
It's just like giving them that look. I thought that was pretty awesome and pretty strong for him to do that. And it's like, hey, we're gonna, no matter if you got your henchmen over here, you can call off your dog. Phil.
Yeah, but he was but at the beginning of the episode, Phil sends Jeffrey to do a mission, and then he comes back during the party and kind of gives him the news, and then you find out the news is he's running for DA. So Phil knew before his friend announced it, because he's got his little spy henchman that's like, awesome. But what got me was whatever.
He didn't address him. He didn't address it right then. He let it still, because they're there for his ex-wife's, his, her memory. And he said, no, it's not about my campaign right now. Once again, he tells you, you have to realize that other people there, and there's other feelings there. And that's what he's telling them to do, is what he was practicing. And I thought that was really good too. So he didn't just tell Will these things. He also showed him, this is what you have to do. I'm not going to bring this up about my campaign right now. I'm going to remember her for who it is. I'm going to remember Lisa's mom for who she is.
Yeah. I like that. Yeah, because he's the only one that kind of really stuck to his word, for the most part. But at the end, when the cop leaves with his wife, Lisa stays, which is not too big of a surprise. But Uncle Phil, he's like, oh, thanks for letting me know, whatever, blah blah blah. He's like, keep an eye on him. He's like, I'm on it. He goes, oh, and check out Reed, blah blah blah. He's like, I'm already on that. I was like,
I'm on that.
He already know. I was like, and then Uncle Phil's like, my man. I was like, dude, what
Jeffrey is so cold. I can't explain more than that. That he is just, that's what you need to have. If you're going to climb a mountain and try to do these special things, especially as a black man, and you're going to be doing these trailblazer things, you got to have someone who at your back 100. And Jeffrey is that man.
Yeah,
and I would love to see more into that relationship and that dynamic, and how it even became,
how they met
into existence.
Yeah,
like how did these guys come? What did he do to find that guy? What can I do? Do you make money? I don't know. I want to get to every athlete has that problem. You're leaving one life and you're going to another life, and it's hard to leave the people that might cause you problems sometimes. Not just your people, because you don't want to leave your people all the time. You don't want to forget where you came from. That's I think something that Phil learned from the Alpha episode.
Fraternity,
fraternity problem, nothing, and that's important. That's one thing. But it's good to have someone that has your back. If you're going to climb mountains, you have to have that guy that you can lean on, that has your back. And I'm glad he got that guy. And Jeffrey is, you get 2 thumbs up for me right here. I'm all for you, Jeffrey. I'm all for you.
Yeah. And it also kind of hints that, like, he knows everything that's going on. You know what I mean? Like, everything that's going on. So it's but he also lets things play out. You know what I mean? Like, he knew where Ashley was. He's like, all right, go have fun, hang out with your friends. But when it's time to go, I'm gonna come get you. The same thing with,
when you get to a certain point, I'm going to step in. I know everything. I know all things.
So like, he already knows about Reed. But he feels like it's not to the point where Phil needs to know yet, but he's keeping an eye on it. So I was like, this dude is awesome.
Reed was walking around his house and going to places in the house that he don't need to know. Places you don't need to be. And Jeffrey already knows about him. So, oh yeah, I'm already on top of that. I saw him in your house. I saw him with Viv. I'm letting Viv live her life, because that's not my place. But this dude, I already got my. Oh, it could be episode 9, and it say, and all of a sudden, Reed had an accident. All of a sudden, some type of accident, and he's no longer in the picture.
That would go super dark. That would go super, super dark if they go that route. Boy,
that would be awesome. It would be dark, and I would love it just a little bit. Part of me would be like, man, that is the coldest man in television today, Jeff.
Yeah, he's great, man. That just the little bit of lines he had in this episode the cherry on top of everything. Like every time he's in it, he's always the best part of it.
His presence carries something.
Yeah.
I mean, remember when the women were walking in, she was like, "Hey, bye," and she was like, "Oh, wait a minute, is Jeffrey here? Let me fix my dress.
Yeah.
He's not here. Oh, okay. Ooh, okay. I'll be okay."
Yeah. He's like you said, he's got that swagger to him. He just walks around like he's not afraid, which he has no reason to. He's a badass.
He walks around like he got a whole pocket full of powder. Some people know what I mean, and some people don't. But that's okay. We'll talk about that later. Later episodes of us.
At the end.
We could talk about that.
But cool, man. Yeah, that's it for episode 6. Tomorrow, as of recording this right now, tomorrow episode 7 comes out. So we got a week to sit on that and then review, the next episode when that's coming out. I don't think. Oh, also next week we're gonna do the review for How I Met Your Father. All season 1, it should be done. And then we'll break down.
I think Sandy, she deserves it because she brought this in. We need to have her there.
Yeah, so I'll tell her to get caught up because I gotta get caught up too. I'm a few episodes behind. Yeah. So yeah, episode 7 tomorrow. No, tomorrow comes out. Next week we're reviewing. But there's a few other things I wanted to bring up real quick. So let's end this one there. So we got some comments, and then I feel like we should bring them up real quick.
Yep.
So it was all by this one guy, C Rants, and he left them all on the Bel-Air stuff. So we got one with about Lisa, talking about Lisa. He said the character Lisa is miscast. The woman playing her is heavier than Will, taller than Carlton. She doesn't look good with either of the characters. She's supposed to be Bel-Air. I expected to see Beyonce's and Tara Banks girls to fight over. But so I agree she is a little bit miscast, but she's not Bel-Air because she also came from somewhere else, right?
So
I don't remember where.
There on a swim scholarship. She is there. She's not just one of them. She's not those people. Even though she's obviously her dad's chief of police, she's a little bit more than just someone who's born with a silver spoon in her mouth. That has just money to fall back on. Just because you're chief of police, that means you have a little power, you have a little prestige, but doesn't mean you didn't weren't born into this money. And I think that she's a little bit different. And I think that's why Will likes her.
They connect more on a personal level.
And obviously they both lost parents, which is something that we saw. I think that you could have cast somebody else. But you have to understand also, she's one of the only Black women there in the school, and that's what's creating the animosity between Will and Carlton. And she has depth to her. She's not just eye candy. She has a story, a backstory. So that's something you see that she is actually training to plan to go to the Olympics. So she's not just there for Carlton or for Will. She's a strong woman herself, who's dealt with the loss of her mother. I think the character itself has been given so much more and wants to go. What did she say she wants to go? She wants to go to Howard. A historical Black college. It's one of the best of all the schools and historical Black college and universities. But the fact that she said that gives even more credence to who she is. And I want to stand up for her. I think that it's not her job. See, this is what I said. I didn't say I was mad. I was mad at Lisa for kissing Will. I didn't say that. I said I was mad at Will for kissing Lisa.
Yeah.
So I don't think that Lisa has done anything wrong in this situation. Maybe she should tell them both, like, look, no, tell Carlton, I have feelings for you, but I like your cousin too. Say it straight up. But
Mm.
it's hard because it's only a couple black guys there in this entire school, and she
Yeah.
seems to like both of them. and
Right.
have to
The
be
only
cousins.
two.
But
Yeah.
I think
But
it's Will's job to not.
do you feel like the actress was miscast? Because he's saying C Rance is saying the character Lisa was miscast. Just like she doesn't look good on screen with Will or with Carlton.
Well, I have a few problems with what you say. No, I don't think she's miscast. First thing, I think there's once again, maybe I'm taking too personal. I think there's more than one idea of beauty, especially in black women. Black women are come in all shapes and sizes, and it seems that he wants her to be a more light-skinned, thinner black woman. And I don't think that needs to be what it is. She's an athlete. I personally think athletes are in themselves, athletic women are very desirable. You know, though they're something different. They're not just a little skinny cheerleader type of whatever, or the light skinned girl that has to be that be the eye candy for the black boys to fight over. I'm glad that they did someone different.
Yeah, and she is very athletic because he is saying she's heavier than Will and taller than Carlton. I was like
she has
she's a
muscles.
swimmer. She's a swimmer. Yeah,
swimmers are
so
muscular, strong, strong built people.
Yeah.
I like
so
it.
like my thing is I don't mind her. I feel like she should not be Lisa. They should have just made a brand new character and save Lisa for later. That's what I feel like, but I mean, it is what it is now, and it's a completely different Lisa than what we had in the show.
What
But
it's something her being there, and they kind of said something about Jackie. So Jackie's going to eventually be there.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And that's going to create a whole different vibe, and that's going to be a drama in itself. But I don't think that she had to be smaller, thinner. I don't think that's. I think the show knows that they don't have to go that way. This is not just one type of black girl.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like they didn't have to do a Beyonce or a Tara Banks, or Tyra Banks.
So we got to be a light skinned girl with blonde hair. What?
Yeah, I mean, because he's saying like it's supposed to be Bel-Air, but yeah, I mean, I don't. That's my own thing. Is like I just wish she wasn't Lisa, and you save that character later down the road. Yep. But like for her being with Will and Carlton, I don't have a problem with that. Like you said, she's an athlete, so yeah, she's gonna have a little bit broad, especially a swimmer. She's gonna have broader shoulders. She's gonna be tall. Like just and then also the guy who's playing Carlton is just a very smaller guy anyway. Yeah,
I mean,
so
you look at Uncle Phil. Uncle Phil in the show was this big 6'5" presence at all times. That's who he was. He has the voice, and he's unbelievably he has presence when he walks in. But this Uncle Phil is only 5'9", and the Carlton is that much smaller than him. Is something that was kind of weird to me.
Yeah. Then there's a couple more comments if you wanted to get into them real quick. So by the same guy, C Rance, said the new Hillary is tall, beautiful, dark-skinned black woman with a fit ass body. And he goes, "There's your storm, Marvel Studios." What do you think about that? Was it what's her name? Coco Jones?
Last comment. That comment. Whoa.
Yeah. I mean, she is,
I think she's gonna become a star. I hope that this episode, the end of this episode, doesn't stop her from becoming, a star in that sense. That she has become a little bit too taking your clothes off for likes is a problem. But yes, I agree. She is dark, beautiful, has confidence about her. She has an aura about her. I like her. I would love to see her in a lot more things.
Yeah.
But I also don't want
What's her name?
to
Coco,
use
right? I think her name.
yeah, Coco.
Yeah. Yeah. Would she be a good Storm? I know that's like opening a can of worms, so I don't want to get too much into it, but I wouldn't mind seeing her in something else where she can show off her acting chops
Yeah, Coco
before
is what she
being
is.
put up.
That name. And I like her. I don't know if I want to just use just because she's the new hot thing that we throw her in every black movie that requires a that type of actress. I think there's a lot of them out there. If anything that you see is that there's a lot of people like that out there, and we don't have to do it. But I like the fact that she's beautiful and can do multiple things. But Storm's African.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
because you would see her with let's say if Chadwick, didn't die and stuff like that, you would see her with Chadwick.
I see more with Michael B. Jordan.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. If she was maybe a little bit older, just a little bit older, maybe like 5 years older, I could see her doing really well with somebody like Chadwick Boseman if he was still around.
Yeah, she's so young. Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I'm not against it, but I just don't want to always say because she's a new thing that you throw it in every black movie that's going in.
Yeah.
I don't want to. I don't like that idea. I think there's so many actors. It's in the same vein as the whole recast T'Challa. You're not just one character. He doesn't have to be every single character, and because he was a character doesn't mean he has to be that. He got to be the only one there. There's other black actors that can take and carry the torch. As you said, I think Denzel's son is awesome.
Mm-hmm.
I love him.
I want to see him in more stuff.
I love him in Tenet. Like he has his own acting chops. He can really do a lot of stuff. But I don't want just because she's a new flavor that you throw her into that.
Mm-hmm.
I think there's other people out there that you can use.
Yeah. I'm right there with you. And then he left one more comment. He left it on the Carlton video. The Jeff Carlton video. Yes, Carlton video. He goes, "You're forgetting one thing. The new Jeffrey was on top of everything going on in the house. How did he not know about Carlton's drug problems?"
Who says he doesn't?
Exactly. Yeah.
He says back he already knew about Reed, right? He didn't jump in there and walk in there. No, he knows what's going on. He's watching it and he's waiting to be told to do something.
Mm-hmm. Like he knows his place.
Yeah.
He knows his place is not to be a parent. He knows his place is to notify the parents when things get bad. Granted, I mean, drugs, that kind of, cocaine's bad, but it's not to the point where he's hurting himself yet, where now it's really affecting who he is as a person, plus all the other stuff he's going through. The drugs is just like, exaggerating everything else that's bad. So yeah, like I said, I think Jeffrey knows. It's just,
and I think he's seeing that Will also is being there, and that he's thinking that it might flush itself out already. If he ever got to a problem where he's become a junkie or he's stealing something or any of that stuff, he will step in because now it's affecting the house. It's not his job to be a parent. It's not his job to do also. That's why he didn't tell them all that Ashley was going somewhere else.
Mm-hmm.
He just stepped there when she could get into a place where she can hurt herself or hurt the family because she's going to affect Uncle Phil's campaign because she could get snatched.
Yeah.
So as long as it's not too damaging, he's not stepping into it. He's just making sure, I think if Carlton was buying something and he felt like it was too much, then he would step in.
Yeah, once he started getting over his head, kind of stuff. Yeah, that's what I felt like, because like you said, the Ashley thing is the perfect thing. He's like, I'm gonna keep an eye on you. You can go hang out with your friends, but I know where you're at and I know what you're doing. And when it's time to go, it's time to go. But so he knows and all these little things he knows. I think he knows.
Well, I think also like something like this whole Hillary thing, he's gonna know. And he's gonna be the one he's going to say,
He's
"Hey,
gonna show Phil.
Phil, we got to say something we have to address. I don't want to do
Yeah.
this in front of Viv, but I need you to know that what's going on."
Yeah, because it's not just a family thing; it's also a work thing. You know, because it's his campaign that's also affected by it. So yeah, he's definitely gonna.
He's the butler and head of security. So when it deals with security stuff, I think that's when he steps in.
Yeah, like safety and stuff like that. Yeah, so I don't know. I just felt like he left a few comments earlier today, and they were all about Bel-Air. So I figured it'd be pretty good to bring
First
it up.
comment, no. Second comment, I can see what you're going, where you're going with that. Third comment, it's interesting. I think we're going to see it in episode 7.
Yeah. And then I don't know. Maybe if we keep getting more comments, I didn't really prepare for it. It was more of like a spur of the moment. Maybe I'll pull out the comment and add it to the screen, like at the bottom, and then stuff like that. Just
And then if we
appreciate the comments.
actually have someone that wants to chime in, because just because I have a opinion or you have an opinion doesn't mean that's the only thing we need to talk about. If someone else's opinion is there, we should definitely address it. I agree.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, also like I want to encourage more people leaving comments. So even if we don't agree with the comment, we appreciate the comment. We appreciate you watching our video and stuff like that. So C Rants left.
If you want to, I say we'll address it, and if you ever see a live show and you want to jump on and comment on it right then, we'll bring it in and we'll discuss it. As we know, we don't think we have all the answers, obviously. We don't speak for everybody, obviously, but that's just our opinion. But please, I would love someone to comment more, and I want to hear what everyone thinks.
Yeah. So I don't know. Maybe we'll do like this going forward whenever we can. The little comment section part of the show. So
and see,
cool.
Whatever. I love. Thank you for commenting, honestly. And I would hear more what you think. I really would.
Yeah, I'm curious, like, because those were after the first 4 episodes. A lot has changed in the last 2. So Hillary's a different person. Carlton has got more deeper in the hole.
Yes, yeah, but we have more information to decide what type of person he is.
Yeah,
so we'll come out with. And I really, this Jeffrey thing is going to be something.
That's gonna be fun. I think it's gonna be fun. Like he's gonna do some gangster shit for sure. I can't wait. Part of me wants to see him beat up somebody while Phil's like in the corner, like, yes, just like watching him do it. And then another part is like, I don't want that because that's not the character I remember him as. But
I don't want him to ever harm anyone. I want him to be very cool, very collected, making decisions and doing things and having other people do stuff. But I like where we're going. I mean, to get to that point, I feel like that keeps Phil's hands clean, and Jeffrey's the guy who's there to keep his hands clean.
Yeah. Oh man, yeah. 4 more episodes, so
it's going so fast.
It really is. But cool, man. Let's get out of here. It's already been going on for 2 hours.
2 hours is a little long. Whatever.
Yeah.
We hit a lot of different subjects, so I think we'll be all right.
Yeah.
We'll be able to chop this up.
Yeah, we're gonna definitely at least like 5, 6 smaller episodes. So for sure. Cool. Anything else, man, before we head out?
No, just want to tell Derby Gaming. I appreciate Andy coming in. Alyssa, of course, always. Yes, I'm married, and her name is Ashley. Alyssa, thank you. I love when we get comments, and though we sometimes we don't see it right away. Please stay, and we always will address your comments and kind of bring it up.
Yeah, definitely. If we're still talking on the subject and stuff, but I think we're gonna do more of a comment show for sure, or segment of the show. But yeah, man. Thanks, C Rants. He left 3 comments on 3 different videos today, so I greatly appreciate that. That helps out us so much. But cool. Let's get out of here, man. This is a long couple Spoiler Kings this week. But yeah, thank you guys for checking us out. Make sure you go check out our Facebook group. Put a bunch of good stuff up there, and subscribe and like to the channel. I think we're gonna do a lot more stuff too. Oscar stuff is still coming out. So
I'm trying to do a little small one. I told you I'm a Trekkie, so I want to do something for this whole season 2 of Picard.
Mhm.
So I want to throw something up for the next couple of days.
yeah, for sure. Yeah, definitely. I want us to do a little bit more solo stuff. You with that. I might do like Sword Art Online, the new season, because I'm a weeb with that, the anime.
I know uploads coming back. I'm just. It's so much stuff coming. This is like the best time right now. I cannot wait. The spring is coming, and we in Chicago, so we get 70-degree days and 30-degree days, and it's going to snow tomorrow night. But things are changing, so I think we're going to have a lot of things to talk about, and I can't wait.
Yeah, a
And
lot of good
forget about
shows.
Moon Knight, guys. Moon Knight. I feel like I just want to throw that into every episode. The end. Moon Knight. Check it out.
The end of this month. Couple more weeks.
It's coming so fast.
Yeah, 3 more weeks.
Think about this. Moon Knight and Morbius are going to be coming out within days of each other.
Mm-hmm.
That's going to be crazy.
Yeah. All the nerdy stuff is going to be so good. But all right, man, let's get out of here. Thank you, everybody, for checking us out, and we will see you guys later.
See ya.
Don't forget to like and subscribe. We out here.